Welcome to This Explainer. Listen up, because today we are locking down a highly tested topic straight from your ACCA Business and Technology notes, organizational structure. We're going to break down the exact differences between the functional and divisional setups, totally demystify the concepts, and make sure you're absolutely ready for exam day. Let's get into it. Now, you might be wondering, could you actually spot the difference between these two when the clock is ticking on exam day? Because the examiner is absolutely going to test you on this. It's one thing to just read definitions, right? But it's a completely different ballgame to identify them hidden inside a complex scenario. By the end of this explainer, you'll have the exact mental framework you need to spot those examiner tricks from a mile away.
Okay, Section 1, Structure Types Explained.
You need to lock this definition into your memory right now. A functional structure is an organization divided strictly based on its functions. So what does that actually mean for us? Basically, it means the business is carved up based on the specific activities or skills of its people. The whole architecture of the company is built around grouping individuals who do the exact same type of work. To make this a bit more concrete, just think of your standard, everyday corporate departments. You've got a finance department where all the accountants sit crunching numbers. You have an HR department handling all the employee stuff. You've got marketing driving the sales, and operations just keeping the lights on. That is your classic functional setup. Literally, if you walk into an office building and floor 1 is all marketers and floor 2 is all IT pros, you're looking at a functional structure. They are grouped purely by the activity they perform.
Moving on to Section 2, the divisional setup.
All right, let's flip the script and look at the alternative. This happens when companies realize that grouping by activity just isn't cutting it for their specific game plan. A divisional structure completely changes the basis of division. Instead of separating people by what they do, the whole organization is separated by product, by region, or by customer. The structure is entirely focused on the end result, not the internal process. It's a massive shift. It's kind of like creating mini companies within the larger corporate umbrella.
So how does this actually look in the real world? Well, if you see a company split into a North American division and a European division, boom, that's a regional division. Or maybe a huge tech company has a separate unit just for smartphones and another totally separate unit just for laptops. And here's the kicker. Each of those units will actually have their own marketing and finance people tucked inside them. Because the division is based on the specific product or region, that is definitively a divisional structure.
All right, Section 3, Functional versus Divisional.
Let's put these two head-to-head. Looking at the basis row here, a functional structure is based on activity, while a divisional structure is based on output. Simple enough, right? But now, look at the focus row. This is key. Functional structures focus on specialization, becoming the absolute best at one specific task like accounting or marketing. Divisional structures, on the other hand, focus on the product or the market. They make sure that a specific customer base or product line gets total dedicated attention. Seriously, burn this table into your brain.
Which brings us to Section 4, ACCA Exam Traps.
Okay, pay close attention here, because the examiner isn't just going to ask you for a textbook definition. They're going to give you a story to diagnose. Here's the first trap, straight from the examiner's playbook. If the scenario simply says the company has quote-unquote departments like HR and finance, what are you choosing? Take a second. Look closely at those keywords.
Nailed it. The answer is functional. Why? Because HR and finance are activities. They represent specific corporate functions. The examiner is literally handing you the answer by telling you the company is dividing its people by the activity they perform. Don't overthink it, just trust the framework we just built.
Let's try the next one. Imagine you're reading this really long paragraph on the exam, and buried right in the middle, it casually mentions that the company is divided into Product A and Product B. What's the correct structure here?
Yep. Absolutely, it's divisional, because the focus has shifted entirely to the output. Product A and Product B are outputs, they are not activities. The exact moment you see the business splitting itself up to focus on a specific market offering or geographical region, you can confidently lock in divisional as your answer.
So the absolutely crucial point is this. Please do not fall into these common examiner traps. Year after year, students lose easy marks by confusing both structures, or worse, just completely failing to identify the exact basis of division hidden in the scenario text. When you're reading a question, you gotta become a detective. Ask yourself, what is the basis of this division? Is it an activity or is it an output? If you let that single question guide you, you'll get to the right answer every single time.
Almost done. Section 5,
The one-line summary.
Okay, this is the golden nugget you need to lock into your short-term memory for exam day. Ready? Functional equals activity. Divisional equals output. That is the entire concept distilled down into its absolute purest form. If you remember literally nothing else from this explainer, remember those 6 words. Functional equals activity. Divisional equals output. So with this crystal clear framework now locked in your mind, what other hidden structures around you are quietly dictating how the business world operates without you even realizing it? Keep that curiosity alive, keep studying hard, and you are absolutely going to crush this exam.